Is 2025 actually the worst year to buy a home in Kansas City? Now, I know that sounds dramatic, but stick with me. There are real risks that buyers aren't being told about right now, and I don't want you to fall into one of these traps. Interest rates are unpredictable, prices are confusing, inventory is tight, and headlines can make you feel like it's now or never. But remember, the media thrives on urgency. The truth? Real estate is always local, and timing should be based on your financial readiness, not on fear of missing out. In this video, I'm breaking down the top risks of buying in 2025, and more importantly, how to protect yourself if you do decide to buy, and how to buy smart so that you don't regret your decision later. Hi, friends. I'm Cheryl McCormick, a licensed realtor with the #1 ranked Rob Ellerman team at ReeceNichols Real Estate, based right here in Kansas City. On this channel, I help buyers and sellers just like you make smarter real estate moves with neighborhood tours, housing tips, and brutally honest market insights. So if you're thinking about making a move in or out of Kansas City, or just within Kansas City, you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss a thing. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through 3 hidden risks and show what smart buyers are doing differently. And one thing is clear, Kansas City home prices in 2025 aren't acting the way buyers, or really anyone for that matter, expected. So let's talk about the first risk, confusing prices. What's surprising to many buyers right now is that different neighborhoods across Kansas City are moving in very different directions. While the overall Kansas City metro average sales price is around $397,000 heading into 2025, there are still many highly competitive pockets, like right here in Johnson County, where the average sales price as of July 2025 is just over a whopping $583,000. I know that can be really confusing for buyers. Buyers hear national headlines about housing prices slowing or housing prices decreasing, but when they walk into open houses in Johnson County, they still compete with multiple offers. In fact, over 30% of homes here are selling above asking price, driven by tight inventory and ongoing demand. So, well, why are prices higher in certain areas of Kansas City and not others? Well, it actually comes down to a few fundamentals. Kansas City continues to have a strong jobs market with strong growth in areas like healthcare, logistics, and technology. And at the same time, we have many top rated school districts, including the Blue Valley School District, who not only ranks the #1 district in Kansas, but it's also the #76 district in the entire country. Together, those forces keep both demand and prices high in many areas. And some homes in those desirable areas right now are selling at what I'd call hype pricing. That means that the asking price is inflated because of temporary market factors like low inventory, bidding wars, or sellers trying to cash in on high buyer demand. When you buy into hype pricing, you're basically paying an extra for urgency, not actual value. High pricing is especially noticeable in the lower price ranges, the below $500,000 homes, where you find a lot of first-time home buyers and investors competing for the same properties. On the other hand, long-term pricing is about looking at the home's real value over time. Just ask yourself, if the market corrects a little in the next year or two, will this home still make sense financially? If you sold in 5 to 7 years, could you realistically get your money back and then some? And while local forecasts actually project steady mid-single digit appreciation across Kansas City in 2025, that appreciation may not be equal across neighborhoods. Paying an inflated price now doesn't necessarily mean that your home will lose value over time, but it could take longer for your home to appreciate, which could be a major consideration if you only plan to stay in your home for a few years. So the real mistake isn't simply buying in 2025, it's buying without being fully informed. The smartest move is to dig beneath the averages. Before making any offer, ask for a neighborhood-specific comp report so that you can see how the market has been performing and where it's projected to go. And here's a tip. Instead of only asking, what's the price today? Look at how similar homes in the same neighborhood have appreciated over the last 5 to 10 years. That helps you see whether the number is sustainable or if you're just paying a premium because of 2025's market hype. And even with the right neighborhood data in hand, there's another factor in 2025 that shouldn't be overlooked, which brings us to risk number 2, interest rates. One of the biggest financial pressures buyers face this year is what I call the interest rate trap. Many people assume the smartest move is to simply wait for rates to drop before they buy. On paper, this seems reasonable. Lower rates should mean lower monthly payments, but it's not that simple. Waiting doesn't always mean that you'll save money in the long run. So right now, rates are hovering around 6.5% in mid-2025. I know that's higher than we all want, but that's far from the 16 to 18% interest rates of the 1980s. And I know because I lived through it. My first home came with a 14% interest rate. Imagine that. And rates now are still lower than the sudden peak we experienced in 2023, where rates approached 8%. But I get it. We got used to seeing those 2 to 3% interest rates in the early 2020s, and a lot of buyers are still hoping that we're going to get back to that, or at least something under 5%. And because of that, buyers have been holding off, thinking that it's smarter to wait. The problem is that the housing market doesn't pause with them. Prices in certain Kansas City markets, especially in high demand areas like Johnson County, are still climbing. Prices so far in 2025 are up around 5% in Johnson County over the same time in 2024. And by the time rates drop into a range that buyers are comfortable with, the home that they hoped for may either cost more or be long gone. And at that point, the lower rate doesn't deliver the advantage that they had imagined. The monthly payment often ends up nearly the same or even higher because property values increase during the wait. And you've lost out on building equity during that time. And economists also caution that it's unlikely we're going to see a dramatic reduction in rates anytime soon. Even though rates may go down slightly, prices aren't likely to go down. So betting your housing decision entirely on a future rate cut is more of a gamble than a strategy. And for families making real-world decisions, this isn't just about interest rates on paper. Waiting can affect where you're able to live and the lifestyle that you want. By waiting to buy because of interest rates, prices could climb just beyond reach of your desired neighborhood, leaving only options that are further away. Or by waiting, your kids might outgrow the school that you wanted them to attend. And waiting can also have another unexpected consequence. After years of holding out, some buyers can feel rushed when they finally do re-enter the market, which can push them into a home that really doesn't fit their needs in the long term. And another unexpected consequence of waiting for lower interest rates, well, more buyers may enter the market, which creates more competition, which creates higher prices and bidding wars. And then the affordable loan scenario that you've been waiting for quickly disappears when you've paid more than you wanted to, just to win the bid. The smarter approach isn't about waiting for perfect timing at all. It's about being financially ready, whether that's with savings, debt, or job stability, and a comfort with the monthly cost today. That combination puts you in control, regardless of whether rates dip slightly in the future. And if rates do go down significantly, you can always refinance to lower your rate and your monthly payment. The key is to buy when you are ready. If you're not financially ready, then the market really doesn't matter. Buying before you're truly prepared is where the real mistakes happen. But even when buyers are financially ready, the final risk tends to trip them up just as much. And that has to do with low inventory levels and bad decisions. Inventory across Kansas City is still at low levels, and that lack of home choices often tempts buyers into rushing into making offers on homes that they regret later. So picture starting your home search and realizing only a handful of properties fit your budget, and none are an exact match. That's the challenge many buyers face in Kansas City right now. The supply of homes in Johnson County, Kansas, as of July 2025, is at 2.1 months, still well below the 4 to 6 month supply needed for a balanced market. The issue isn't just low inventory, It's also how quickly those homes move. The average days on market for homes in Johnson County for July of 2025 was 27 days, with homes selling for an average of 100.2% of list price. That speed creates an environment where buyers feel rushed and pressured into making quick decisions. And one of the biggest mistakes that I see, buyers settling. They jump on the first house that's available, even if it doesn't fit their needs, just because they're scared another one won't come up. That pressure can leave you stuck in the wrong home. And the biggest financial hit usually shows up when buyers waive inspections in order to win the house. When you don't have breathing room to check out whether the roof, HVAC, or foundation needs immediate attention, you can find yourself paying for major fixes soon after closing. And even when inspections raise concerns, don't be swayed into waiving contingencies or minimize red flags in order to stay competitive. That choice may win the house, but it's often at the cost of future expenses that can put stress on your household budget. Fortunately, there is a way to deal with low inventory without falling into these traps. The answer isn't waiting on the sidelines for the market to balance itself. It's being fully prepared to act when the right home appears. That means having a clear plan before you even step into a home. And here's what that plan looks like. First, secure your mortgage pre-approval so that you can move quickly when you do find that perfect home. And remember that you do not need to spend as much as you qualify for. Determine the budget that you are comfortable with and stick to it. Second, decide on one or two non-negotiables like school district, commute time, or yard size. That way you'll keep your search focused and again, stick to it. And number three, discuss a home buying strategy with your agent prior to looking at homes so that you don't get caught up in the moment and make a rash offer. These steps allow you to stay competitive without giving in to the FOMO or fear of missing out in the heat of the moment. When you approach the market this way, you're not making rushed decisions, you're controlling the process. You can filter out distractions, act decisively when you find your perfect match, and walk away when the fit isn't right. So, what's your single biggest non-negotiable in a home search? Is it schools, commute time, neighborhood feel, or is it something else? Drop a note in the comments below. I'd love to see what matters most to you, and your feedback helps me create videos that better fit your interests. The real danger right now isn't that Kansas City's housing inventory is limited, but that limited choices can drive buyers into making poor choices that they regret years later. With the right preparation, you can avoid that cycle and focus on finding the right home at the right time instead of just any home. So as you consider entering the Kansas City market in 2025, the key is simple. Don't avoid buying. Instead, have a plan in place when you buy. I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below on which risk worries you most. Prices, interest rates, or inventory. And if you want my free Johnson County relocation guide, comment guide below and I'll send it straight to your inbox. If you're considering a move to Kansas City or anywhere within the Kansas City area, let's talk. I'd love to help you narrow down the perfect suburb for you, show you around, and make the whole process stress-free. Whether you're planning to move in 9 days or in 90 days, I'd love to help you find your perfect home in your perfect neighborhood at your perfect price point. Just give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email, or just scan the QR code to schedule a quick Zoom chat. Let's talk about your goals. Thanks for watching Living in Kansas City. I'm Cheryl McCormick with the #1 ranked Rob Ellerman team at ReeceNichols Real Estate. Hit like if you found this helpful and subscribe so that you never miss a Kansas City update. I'll see you next time, and until then, stay safe, stay curious, and stay tuned for more exciting tours and real estate insights about Kansas City to come.